biggest question is आप उसको चलो आपने cultural event बोला, I retaliated, I put my wedding video out. मैं और क्या करूँ? अब बोलो शादी नहीं हुई, मैं बोली ये क्या था भाई? Oh, she's doing it for Big Boss. Again, I've been there. I don't mind going there again, for sure. But will I screw my life to go there? Like it's so easy to bow down to the pressure of, अरे इसी में कोई गलती होगी, यही निभा नहीं पाई होगी. The mobile would go like, if I'm sitting here, the mobile would go. Probably that was the first like, take that first flight with your girlfriend. It's your first flight after the wedding. You're celebrating your 45th birthday and you fly in with her. And then you challenge me directly, indirectly, saying it was we were never together. I have the proof, darling. I have the proof of the room. Our police has the proof. He's an employee in a company that's probably just 5 to 6 years old. He does not have his house. His cars are on rent. He is a salaried person with already 2 kids. Mine was the 3rd. I would love to take that also in pride and say, yes, I was a gold digger. There was no gold to dig. My son got in touch, called the daughter also to talk. He was missing her. There has been zero calls. Like the biggest smile, like you see Joker, no, smiles and does all. I was always that Joker in his life. I've always smiled bright, like you mean it. I'll go and cry in my car. Then I would come back and say, Jaden, let's do this. Let's go out. We've got party today. I will never fail my child. Never. I fought then, I will fight now, I'll fight the rest of my life if I can shield my son. I will not let him or his legal team, he's a very big man apparently, he's connected and yeah, he can harm me or whatever, like he would say, I'm so connected, I know people who know people kind of conversations. I'm not scared of you, dude. Bring it on.
Hi guys, this is Ankita, you're tuned to Bollywood Bubble, and today I'm sitting in conversation with Dalljiet, and all I have to say is instead of hearing what we all see and read about on social media on various platforms, I would rather hear the story from the person itself because that's the journey lived by her, not by anyone else. How are you?
Getting there, I'm okay.
Does it bother that you finally had to step out to tell your side of story, not that you have shied away from being brave enough to put out what has happened with you, but to finally face the cameras and be out there and tell the world that, hey, I do have things to tell?
It's been a journey of almost 10 months that I have been in a hideout, though I was retaliating on my comfort of Instagram because it felt like I'm not going to keep quiet, I'm fighting, but I was fighting in a very scared way. I was sounding very confident but I was not. I was crying and I was in a lot of depression and it was not easy. But I realized that since the time I started my YouTube, I started a channel called My Soul in My Suitcase, and I said, I'm anyways getting there now slowly. So it's time to just step out. And I just decided, like you rightly said, it's just so unfair to be telling or explaining or doing anything for something so simple. It was just love. There was nothing more, nothing less. It's just like to be in this position because of that is just very unfair.
Does it bother you because when we choose to tell our stories, there are faceless, nameless people who don't make it easy for us?
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt you by saying this, but when I was going through and doing the research, the trolls and the comments could get as mean. Yeah. Gold digger, double divorcee. Do you think who gave them these rights to call you names when they don't even know what you have to say?
So the first thing, the funny thing is, it's a gold digger. Now the fun fact is that he's an employee in a company that's probably just 5 to 6 years old. He's earning a salary. He does not have his house. He's staying on rent. His cars are on rent. Rent as in the company gives him the cars.
Of course.
He is a salaried person with already 2 kids. Mine was the 3rd. So no, I would love to take that also in pride and say, yes, I was a gold digger. There was no gold to dig. The gold that he had and he still has is his kids, which I was craving for, to have kids, to have a family. And that's the gold I was looking at. एंड बेटियों का बाप गलत नहीं करेगा कि स्टेटमेंट में हर जगह पे ये गूंज रही है ये मेरी आवाज़, बिकॉज दैट इज़ द थिंग आई थॉट विल नेवर गो रॉन्ग, यू नो, बट इट डिड terribly. So yeah, the goal that people thought I was digging, no.
Does it bother Diljit that it's okay to not have your marriage working, but then why the tag of being separated or being a divorcee? Why a woman has to bear the more brunt of it than the man? I always wonder why it's the gender which gets desensitized first.
And then they say, why feminism? Let's start from there. Um, it's, you know, divorcee or not, like I'm still to divorce a marriage that he claims has never happened. Only it's a different.
I'll come to that.
Yeah, it's another story altogether. But I think, like when I said take two, I said it in a lot of excitement, a lot of zeal, a lot of I was this child. I'm getting a family after 9 years. I'm getting a family, and I will not apologize to what family or what shots I took or what. I was so excited.
You never hid it. It was a
I
wedding
was
which is
so. I
out
didn't
there,
care if
beautiful.
it was a 41-year-old woman excited. I was this woman, this girl excited who waited for 9 years to get a family. So I was excited. I was wearing my sports shoes and going in the gym and like posing and my chuda and like I did all of that, and I'm unapologetic, dude. So my take two experience right now comes down to, you know what, I tried second time to be happy and in a faith that there are good human beings out there. It's not just that, it's my second time retaliating to unfair situation, and it's my second take two of not accepting bullying or not accepting wrong things. So I own my take two today. That's why I've not taken out my tattoo yet.
Yeah.
I still have a gist of it. I've taken out the date because clearly, apparently, it never happened. So it kind of vanished for him. So I vanished it superficially. But yeah, take two is not just about finding love. It is also about fighting again. And I'm more than happy to fight.
And you have not been, how should I put it, ever ashamed or non-vocal about the fact that you are starting a life after the first chapter.
Yeah.
Then how do you think the people, when they perceived, when the news broke out, when you finally first spoke, of course it created a lot of ruffles around. What was the initial reaction of the people around you? Because nobody takes it easy.
Initially there was mix. Even today I have those same people messaging me in a lot of I think there were a lot of women and men who got encouraged and motivated looking at my story, thinking, you know, she waited so long, if she can find love, so can we. And I had those kind of messages ki, you know, we were waiting, but we'll also give it a shot. But when it broke also, I have a lot of men and women who have gone through unfair, you know, spouse relationships, where they said, you know, we are so proud of you that you retaliated. Like it's so easy to bow down to the pressure of, अरे इसी में कोई गलती होगी, यही निभा नहीं पाई होगी. If I had bought that shit, I would have still been sitting, taking all that I was, and I took it for a really long time. So I would rather fight.
Would you be okay to talk about the first time you got a whiff of, because I think we women have a strong gut sense. There is the sixth sense we all have. We figure out something is not working.
Yeah.
When was it that it first hit you that something might not be sitting right?
I think there was a time in the not very far from the cultural event that we went through, that he says, doesn't call it a marriage, is when the mobile would go like, if I'm sitting here, the mobile would go. Probably that was the first like, why are you doing that? Then he would give me the mobile and it would be all clean, all good. Everything was not questionable. But I did have gists of that. Whether it was this person he's with or somebody else, I don't know, I don't care. But yes, and also the fact that the things that I was going through with him was on very inhuman, not required, like it didn't make any sense. My family were in touch that time. We were trying to make sense out of, why is he doing this? Like, why this? Why to the kid? Like, it was not making sense on any level. And of course, now finally I know what, like, there was no marriage, now I get it. But yeah, it didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense.
Because you have Jaden with you and you moved to an entirely different country without your family.
Yeah.
Was there ever a point where you felt threatened or the fear of being harmed? Because when you are alone and you're vulnerable and there is too much emotional baggage, it's not easy.
Yeah. Um, from from the word go, yeah. And third month, when I first time spoke up for myself and said, this is not right, it's inhuman on whatever levels, I don't want to get into the details. My sister was told very specifically, she steps out, she never comes back. And my sister was like, she should have the will to step out whenever she wants to meet us, even if you're a continent away. And this is the first fight both of you are having properly, where she's actually like, she has an outburst. This is a statement given. She steps out, she never comes back. After that also, a lot of interpretations of those languages were done. And of course, third month, I still had my mehndi or whatever, the chuda was still on there.
Yeah.
Still kind of, no, I'm overthinking. And my sister was almost about to book the tickets. I said, no, Dadu, something is wrong. Like, maybe I'm overthinking. Like, you get into that. Because it freaked me out that
reflex.
I can't step out. Like, I'll not be allowed in the house. Like, just my stuff is still getting unpacked. Like, what am I going to tell? My father's like 79, my mom's like 70. What am I going to tell? So it kind of fizzled out there. And I said, no. And then sorries were accepted and things happened. But eventually, something as frivolous doesn't stay, does it? And yeah, and even when I came back, I'm sure everybody will relate to this. I came back, like my first interviews that I gave, I kept telling them, family ke bare mein kuch mat puchna, because I was really scared ki, when a lot of things happened, I came back, I was obviously very angry because a lot of things were happening and it was just unrequired, unnecessary, like frivolous as hell. But when I came back also, one part of me knew in my heart, he'll come, we'll fight, the families will come together and they'll be like, no, this is the rule, this is what you will do, Deepa, this is what you will do. And like, how you would think it'll figure out. But then a lot of unveiling happened over these months and then it didn't make sense. But when I came also, we were in touch. We would say things like, let's do couple therapy, let's do this. And I was like, that'll be nice. That'll be great. And at one time I would be angry and say, no, you're not going to do it. And I was like, no, let's do it. Like, there was angry me because there's so much that had happened. So much. Like someday, maybe I'll have the guts to say it. Because I don't want to say it for my sons and my daughter's thing also. Whether or not she's a daughter, that's another debate we'll do another day. I would never get into the details. Hopefully, unless literally pushed over the edge to talk, because kids are involved. But having said that, when I came, within few months, the whole thing just so uncalled for. And the way it unveiled, my God, a 20-year-old will hold themselves with much more dignity than a 45-year-old gentleman. And that affects me on so many levels, because you're a parent, you're a father, I am a mother, I have a child too. He was calling you a dad, like, come on. What are you doing? Splashing your girl? Like, what are you doing? You're a 20. And then you choose to come to India. Please explain why. Just everything has been so rigorously exhausting. Of course, I kept retaliating. Something came, I was like, who is this? Something, I was like, what is this? Child abuse. Okay, this is the marriage. What are you talking? Like, I have only retaliated to safeguard myself, saying, like, not safeguard also, like, I was retaliating out of anger. But it's been so exhausting. It's been like, you know, like I've said this so many times, when people say depression is just so loosely used, it's a physical pain. You can't get up. Your back hurts, your chest pains. There is a throbbing pain in your chest. It's almost like somebody's, it's like a thumb.
I know. You can't breathe. You can't eat.
Breathe.
Can't function.
My wake-up call was my first episode of My Soul in My Suitcase, when I saw myself giving that interview in my own channel, because that's where I was feeling safe to talk. And I said, you know, I should start talking. And which is why I think probably have led to this. Where I sat down and I looked at myself, I was like, oh my Lord, what have I done? And it's not about being fat. I'm okay. I'm going through shit. I'll put on weight, dude. You like it, you don't like it. I'll reduce. I don't care. I don't care. But that time it was more a swelling, because I was crying, I was eating, I was sleeping. Then I was not sleeping, then I was crying, I was sleeping.
And with all the medications, it's just completely...
So I thankfully did not go to the medication bit. Yeah, no, I didn't. But I went through therapy. I went through therapy for 2 months. I made my son go through therapy for 2 months. And that probably helped us, because that was required. And I think my son doesn't understand it was therapy, because there was a very, very sweet person we found, very senior, who deals with kids. And she was just talking, chatting, they would draw something. And I knew that she was trying to get everything out of him. And 2 months, he's fine now. But for him to go through this at a tender age, for what? He was looking for a dad. That's how much gold we wanted to dig.
Yeah, I was coming to
But yeah, it's uncalled for, it's unfair.
I fail to understand when he says that the marriage wasn't registered in the country you were married, Kenya. In India, it was probably one of the biggest news we had across the tabloids.
Okay, first, I would like to ask you, the fiasco that happened on that day with me dressed up, him dressed up, the sindoor, what do you call that?
I unfortunately call it marriage,
You
because
sure?
that is
Because you might legally go wrong.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
because that's
Okay,
my
good,
only
good.
understanding of growing up for all these years.
Thank you.
That's how you do the rituals, you take the vows.
Would you call it a cultural event?
I wish I could. It was not a culture. Right now, it's called being culturally inappropriate in his words, which it seems like. I mean, how could he blatantly deny it? I understand for the fact, giving it a benefit of doubt, if you're trying to put it that the paperwork for the legal registration maybe in that nation hasn't been done.
Correct.
But in India, it has happened with how it happens.
Yeah.
Riti Rivas, Vedic rituals. Then what was this entire drama about?
So when I met him, he was... so the first voice note I've ever received from this gentleman, when we started kind of... first actually introductory voice note, where we came to know about each other, and this is introduction with his name. His introduction said that his wife was not living with him under the same roof. She was staying in the US. She is just coming back for a week to pick up the younger daughter, because according to the divorce, she's getting the younger one because she's younger.
And the mother.
And of course the mother's going to get it. And the elder will be, that's her choice to stay with him. So that's one part. I'll come back to this, why I mentioned the voice note. Second part comes in when we meet. We've only talked about marriage, and I have very blatantly told him that I only want marriage. He said, yeah, my divorce is going through, whatever, fine. When we got into the relationship, I was very clearly, very strongly told the divorce is signed, not being contested, and according to the paper that's been, and that legal paper is with me because that was given to me and my parents during the wedding, that the divorce is signed, it's not contested. The decree that requires for registration, and tomorrow we want to buy a house together, registration happens within a couple of months, but the divorce is signed. Now, my parents said, let's delay it for a little time, and they came up with a letter which his lawyer gave me, which he's using as a, he's just turning it, the thing that he gave us as a proof or assurance, let's put it like that, that don't worry, you know what, I am divorced. Like, it's just a decree that's taking some time because of some COVID reason or something they'd given because of COVID, the cases have been delayed. It'll fall through. The ex-wife has already taken the kid gone and has started earning the monthly whatever that has been promised according to the court paper. So I've been told it's not being contested and legally we'll do it, and because the school is starting in March, let's not have Jaden go to another continent in the middle of this thing. It'll not be good, and anyways the paper will come and we'll sign it. We bought the bullshit. We actually did, because everything was seen, said, done, written. But now the assurance that was given to me and my father before the wedding, that don't worry, and also it states that don't worry, we will get adoption also done, like this one will do all that is written. He has twisted that and said, I had told her about it, that the decree is not there. I was like, okay, we'll get back to that. My lawyers are also hired well, don't worry. But it's just so shocking how the same word can be twisted in such a convenient manner. Again, that's like I said, whether God does justice or whether legal system or whoever comes first, I know justice always prevails. I like to believe that, you know, we are in Kali Yuga, but it's balanced because of good people also. I'd like to always fall back on that. So that's one part. Later I came to know the wife was always there. She never lived in US in the first place. That's another story altogether. And then my question today, I'm sure he'll have his PR all ready now, hired. I'm sure he has his statement all well done to release. I'm saying I was angry. I'm saying I came here, I was very angry. Yes, I was angry. We had a fight. I didn't
be
for so many reasons, right? I came here. I was bound to react. I was bound to be angry. A gentleman would have first given me a little time, taken a flight. He traveled the world. If you see his story, he's traveling. He's very like 74 countries, 78 countries, very flamboyant about it. You take that one flight, at least to try to save your wedding. I'm saying I am all wrong. I am the one. And, oh my God, this woman was so.
For the people.
I'm saying I thought traveled. No.
Yeah, that's what
I thought traveled for you.
Yes.
Take that plunge once, where your company is not paying for it. For a change, you pay for it. Travel
and sort it out.
Come. And if it still doesn't get sorted out, we have a very natural closure to how it ends, right? How do you, within, of course, whether it took 2 months or 4 months, we were in a major problem at that time, like anger and this and that. You just choose to replace and say, next.
Yeah.
What is that? Are you a 20-year-old? And then how are my family supposed to react to that? While they are thinking, oh, you guys are fighting, okay, both of you cool down, and maybe after a while you guys will miss each other, and there will be a time where he will come. Like my mother though was very sure.
That's how parents are. You're always eternal optimistic.
Okay, you're angry, maybe he's overreacting, maybe you're overreacting, whatever that, you know, what happens in a fight. Yeah. But what's the eventual result? That you take one flight for the sake of the cultural event that you did. I'm saying, sure, wouldn't you take that one flight to fix it? Because there's a child involved as well.
And so are your children as well, like the guy's children as well.
Thank you.
There are 3 kids online.
My son got in touch, called the daughter also to talk. He was missing her. There has been zero calls. And again, now knowing him, I'm like, oh, she was so mean, that's why she did it, or whatever. I don't know what he's all very interesting with his words. My only thing is, okay, everything happened. You managed to replace me, flaunt it like a 20-year-old also. And of course, I retaliated. And then you sent me a notice and I retaliated.
Then you said, what was the cease and desist notice when you were still making an effort to go back to Kenya?
Please tell me. Please tell me.
It just doesn't make sense to me, this entire...
It's more like you went, so I moved on. I'm like, okay.
You were barely here for a month or so.
I'm saying 4 months. I'm saying 3 months. I'm saying 2 months. You don't make an effort once, and what you instead do is you replace
And Senor noticed that I'm no longer.
Yeah, it was a cultural event. And then when he said the first notice that shook the base of my family, and everybody was like, hold on. We'll see, legally to dekh hi lenge. वो तो fight कर ही लेंगे. I'm not scared of the legal fight. That will fight. You hire lawyers, I'll also hire. Yeah, that's not a problem. We'll see what land
Yeah, that's
wins,
how
whether
yeah,
your
that's-
legal land wins, whether the registration matter, or what you promised and what you did here
here.
matter. Because India में तो भाई आपने फेरे लिए. तो
और फेरों को ही हम अभी भी
तो
शादी मानते हैं.
अभी इवेंट तो नहीं था, बट ठीक है. माई बिगेस्ट क्वेश्चन इज, आप उसको चलो आपने कल्चरल इवेंट बोला, आई रिटेलिएटेड, आई पुट माई वेडिंग वीडियो आउट. मैं और क्या करूँ, अब बोलो शादी नहीं हुई, मैं बोली ये क्या था भाई.
Exactly.
मैंने वो डाला. उसके बाद the daughter was speaking something, obviously she was excited, and in that same shot, please look, in that same shot the camera pans when she's talking. There are 40 people taking her video. I don't think, the last time I checked, nobody signed a consent letter. But anyways, I was supposed to get her consent before putting that video out. Hence the sexual abuse or child abuse or whatever came. Which is, again, it doesn't shock me anymore with what he does, because now I know why he does what he does. And then that happened. And then you choose to take that first flight with your girlfriend. It's your first flight after the wedding.
I was coming to that.
First flight. You've not, like, it's not that you travel to India anyways for work, like it was one-offs. You're celebrating your 45th birthday and you fly in with her. And then you challenge me directly, indirectly, saying we were never together. I have the proof, darling. I have the proof of the room. Our police has the proof. We have all the proof of which room they were staying, what they ordered, at what time, what was ordered by her, what was ordered by him. I have it. Now, I don't know legally what to say, what not to say,
Yeah.
but the point is, don't challenge. Forget about challenging. Why would you pick that flight? How sadist can you get? Or how, that's what I'm saying. You're getting into my house, you're getting and saying, no, she's not crying enough. Oh, she's not getting, you're poking me. And then people are saying, hey, he's moved on, you move on. No, darling. I'm sorry, no wife will move on just like that. I don't have a man I'm holding and saying, that's not my way of retaliation. I will fight like a wife.
And it was not a cultural event.
I'm
for
sorry.
You.
Thank you.
It was
Yesterday
marriage.
was Karwa Chauth. The whole day was quite interesting for me, because I only got to celebrate one. Where he was traveling, now I don't know doing what. But it breaks my heart as much as he's gone out and told people, you know what, she should have kept the dignity. She wants this for PR. Darling, I was always very famous. I didn't need you.
To that.
You needed me, maybe. I didn't need you, an unknown person, to make me famous. Thank you.
We never knew him.
Apparently, I did this to be famous, and I wanted my PR, and I was missing acting, so I came back. It's like, sure.
I mean, if that was the thing, then the first thing you should have been in this current season of the reality spring shows, which are
That's
going
funny
on.
too, because I was told, oh, she's apparently. He's told it, or somebody said it, that, that, oh, she's doing it for Big Boss. Again, I've been there.
I've already done that. Please do my research.
I don't mind going there again, for sure. But will I screw my life to go there?
No.
I'm sorry, thank you. If I wanted to, I was in that house with my comfort friends. I had Aarti, I had Rashmi, I had Debuli. I knew all of them. I could have chilled and done and cried and sobbed. And I have had, unfortunately, a lot of controversy behind.
I know.
I could have used that.
When you never, for once, spoke about the first
that was never important.
chapter of
Again,
your
my
life.
children are involved. I would never say something, even now. I can say one sentence and it will ruin his life forever. I will never do that. It's not about him and me. Like I said, we'll fight in the court. My problem is my child is listening. Tomorrow, day after, he will Google and he will see this. I don't want him to know. Or the fact is, he knows he was in it. But I will never ever say it out loud, because it holds the integrity of my son and my kid also, for some reason. I would never say it out loud.
Does that any point made you feel, I know there is a certain suppressed anger. We don't know how to channel it, and more than a woman, as a mother, that anger needs to be leveled and been in check, because before anyone, you're just taking care that your child is safe and the child is fine.
Absolutely.
Nothing else matters. In all this process, how did he hold on to it? Because unfortunately, that poor one had to go through it twice.
Yeah.
Yes, the first time he was too young,
Yeah.
but you grow up, you hear. It's not that previously your father was not a popular person; he was also a popular figure. But how do you make sure that Jaden is in as safe hands as you can keep him to be?
It's been quite challenging. Let's start with that. Taking care of a child is no big deal. Every mother's doing that. I'm not doing anything great. There are a lot of single parents doing a beautiful
Yes.
job.
And I have
Be it a
friends,
man,
be it a woman, and
Be it
I
a
think
woman.
kudos to them because they are the ones who are not only providing for the mother and the father, they're working, they're making sure they're even provided for. Hats off to anyone.
and it's
who's raising the
amazing
child.
how I read somewhere, oh, she's doing it for sympathy. Yes, darling, please give me some sympathy. I would love some sympathy.
That
no?
doesn't run your house.
You're not running my house. So if you can give sympathy on the way, sure. If that's concerned, sure. If they're just being nice to me, sure. Actually, that'll be very nice if you can be just human to me. But am I doing this for sympathy? Am I sitting here for... No, this is a part of my healing. I'm doing it selfishly for myself. Because this is a part of moving ahead from here, hopefully. I don't want to keep doing this. I didn't even want to do this. It's 11 months, hence I've sat here because I've only spoken on Instagram. I would just give it, I'm fight. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you. That was the whole thing that was coming. But when that fiasco got over, now it's more of, I just want to be sitting here and talk about it without a single teardrop. That's my challenge because I want to move ahead. I want to heal. And no, darling, I don't need sympathy. I'm good to go.
And I hope that even Jaden comes out of it as strong.
Yeah, it's been tough for him. It's been very tough for Jaden. It's not fair on so many levels.
I think any child it's not fair for.
Yeah.
What two adults go through, when the child has to go through the ramifications of it, it's not fair. ever.
It's like, first time round, he was very, very, obviously, it was a couple of months when I stepped out.
Yeah.
And probably it was easier then. Though it was tougher because physically I'd given birth. So the whole postpartum or this and that, I don't know when it came, when it went. I didn't know when I was depressed. I didn't have the time. I was
working.
I was 85 kgs. I became 56 kgs in like 6 months because I had work to do. I had to fetch. It took me 2 years until I was actually given some alimony. And honestly, that's not even worth a 1 BHK in Mumbai. Let's just put it like that. Because again, people say, oh, so much was given, like gold digger, rightly so. I was given a lot that could give me a mansion and take care of me and Jaden. No, it was not. But it was good enough for me to get my ego right and say, fine, I got justice and I want to move. That was enough. But I've always worked. I've always balanced and managed, and it's always been 1 gone, 2 here, 2 gone, 1 here. And yeah, whatever was given or whatever given is also such a shady thing to say. But no, wasn't worth all our life taken care of, where I can sit and say, I can chill, I have so much money lying. No, I'm sorry, I was staying on rent till time I got married and I own it. Now, what he went through then was probably a little easier from Jaden's perspective because
he grew up with you and he saw the lights through
and I
your
always
lens.
put up like the biggest smile. Like you see Joker, who smiles and does all. I was always that Joker in his life. I've always smiled bright, like you mean it. I'll go and cry in my car. Then I would come back and say, Jaden, let's do this. Let's go out. We've got party today. I would do all of that. And it would hurt in my stomach because I don't want to say it, but it's coming out because the kid deserves that. And it helped him. It made him realize, I have such a happy family. And also, not just him, I was doing it for my parents also, if you ask me. They deserved it too. So every time I kept it to myself. And the best part is, this gentleman has come knowing, I have spoken about what I'm telling you is not a rocket science. I've told this to him and said, this is what I've been through, this is what I've done. What we've been through is not, again, sympathy oriented. It is a fact of my life. I've earned, I've lost, but in that whole fiasco, I safeguarded Jaden. But now, when you walk in knowing, suppose you already know that she's broken and she's put glue everywhere and she stuck it.
Deliberately try to rip it.
Like no, not ripping. You've come with a hammer and you're crashing it so it doesn't even come back. Like, why would you do that? That's my very human question. Like,
it also surprises me. I'm sorry I'm interrupting you. This man has kids as well. How can you not be compassionate?
God knows. God only knows. Like, it's amazing how he still has explanations or his part of the story or whatever it is. Like, I would love him to sit here one day and say, no, maybe not. I don't want to go through it. But it just doesn't make sense. Today, if I have to sit down and say why it happened, hold on, I don't know. It's ridiculous as hell. It's frivolous as hell. It's inhuman as hell. And it just doesn't make sense. Yes, I'm fighting back. I'm going to be okay. I will be successful. I'll be happy. I'll do all of that. Because again, jaded. I will never fail my child. Never. I fought then. I will fight now. I'll fight the rest of my life if I can shield my son. I will not let him or his legal team. He's a very big man apparently. He's connected. And yeah, he can harm me or whatever. Like he would say, I'm so connected. I know people who know people kind of conversations. I'm not scared of you, dude. Bring it on. And I literally went to the police station and said, in case something happens to me, you should know why it happened and who did it. Like that's how much fearful he's made of a person who was barely finding a ground. I'm saying go kill somebody or do something to somebody who's do your size. No. Fight with a person your size.
They always say pick up a battle with a man who's of your size.
Please, pick up a battle with somebody who's probably already doing whatever, doesn't have a kid, maybe hasn't gone through. I've gone through shit in my life. And then you walk in and then you very glorifyingly in your accent end up doing whatever. You don't get to do that. It's not right.
The women in his life, I mean maybe his ex-wife or say the current girlfriend who, like, not taking names here, I mean, did anyone even try to get in touch with you or give their side of story? Because it always amazes me that how women can be bone breakers for somebody else.
As much as I know the women in his life, again, without taking names, he's got women who will be told what to say and they will say exactly that. Or they will be, I've got messages with very nice abusive words in it saying, shut the F up, do not talk about me or my family. I will do it. If you guys are going to be doing what you guys are doing, I will speak, and I'm not speaking about you. Who has done what with me and my son? I will speak. Like, instead of asking what happened.
No sisterhood here, it's just like
sisterhood. There's an abusive, interesting, and then his person also messages me. You stay the F out, I'll sue you. I'm like, please sue me. I'm waiting for you to sue me. Challenge me that you guys were not together. You can tell this to whoever you want, that it was forged, it was photoshopped or whatever. Yeah, please do. But the fact is, I have, and I'm saying this with not just evidence, I've got, like, it's crazy how much proof I have. Like, I'm like, please sue me. Like, I don't even want to do that, but I'll do it with the rage of a wife. Like, I am angry right now. And then you are not stopping, dude. Constant. And then you put a ring, and then you're clicking a picture, making sure. Why are you doing all that? I'm saying, wear the ring, no. I'm not coming to Kenya to see. You're wearing a ring.
Given a notice,
you probably married, but I don't care what you're doing anyway. Why are you? Because you clearly want attention, because I'm not speaking about you, but you want attention, right?
He apparently took over your YouTube channel and all.
Oh, that was interesting. So I was doing YouTube in my little ride, but not doing it. If you see it, it's been very.
Yeah, but you were always vlogging about your life.
Yeah,
like forever, I think I remember.
Basic level, right? Like, but it was never I never saw whether it was monetized or not. I've never cared. When he came in my life, he was very particular about, let's do a YouTube channel. He went ahead and convinced my best friend to convince me to do it. Then when I said no, he went ahead and spoke to my PR, told her to convince me. Like, that's how adamant he was about how much YouTube is going to. And I thought maybe he's saying it for my good.
Like
that maybe I'll work, maybe, it'll be nice, it'll keep me busy. I bought that. So we had a CMS or whatever that we were affiliated with, and they within a couple of months I was like, why is the money not coming? Even if it is 10,000, why is it not coming? Oh yeah, I'll tell them your bank account. So he gave it to those people, and then through the agency I would get the money after they would cut or whatever, and I got whatever little that I did. But when I came to India, I said, I don't want this affiliation of YouTube with him at all. I want the YouTube, like, CMS nahi chahiye mujhe. And I told the company, the agency, that I don't want to affiliate anymore because I don't think I'm making content. And out of 100 rupees, what to give 30%? Like, let it be, So they plucked themselves out, which is why the channel came to me. And then I realized the channel is never mine. The phone number is his, the bank account is his, everything is affiliated to him. I said, when did this happen? Now, knowing him, he'll say, oh, she knew all about it. Now, the way you're not recognizing marriage, why are you recognizing my YouTube? I'm saying, कुछ भी नहीं है उसमें तो 10,000 है या 20,000 है, point one. You should be the first one to say, take this also.
Yeah, and technically it only has the videos of you being married and having.
I am saying
day in
for
your
the
life.
heck of it. Oh, she's a liar. She's whatever. And then I had to actually go down to the level of going to Instagram story to say, I'm giving you an OTP tonight. Give it to me. And I can bet my life that he would have refused that OTP came to him. I can bet my life. When he gave me an OTP, I thought, nahi, ye bhi mana karega. He'll definitely say OTP was never a part. I put that OTP also just in case. That dude, you've given me the OTP. Now finally, after all the, like, I spoke about YouTube from the time I came, I complained, I went to the police station. You should have given it then only, saying, le bhai. I'm saying, tujhe pata tha, tu jhooti, tu whatever, theek hai. You give it, no? Why you not give? It's been just an interesting few months of realizing people can be, my God, so deceptive. And it's heartbreaking because he happens to be a parent as well.
I think that was my major thing was, and I always feel that what doesn't break you makes you stronger. Nothing can shake your faith in your own self, and nobody can help you build yourself better than you own.
Absolutely. I am very fortunate that I'm born in the family that I am. I have my father, I have my godfather, I have my mother. My dad told me one thing which I would tell this for sure. When he was packing my things for the wedding, he was very like emotional. Hote hai na ki ghar baandh rahe. But I was busy prepare. I was the one organizing the wedding, by the way. He came a week back. I was the one. ये करना है, इसको थोड़ा सा इसमें कर लेते हैं, whatever कर लेते हैं. Anyways, my father packed the bag saying, you're going. No, I'm going to pack my daughters. He's 79. Imagine him packing his bag. He was 78 then. Packing each box, and I had a lot of cartons. And then when I came back, he told me, I will unpack as proudly as I did when you went. That's the strength. I'm so proud to be Avtar Singh's daughter. I'm so proud to be Preetam Kaur and Sunil Mirpuri's daughter, who is, they have been like this, ki koi tujhe chhed ke dikhaye, we are there, When people talk about strength, it comes from your upbringing. It comes from your cultural values. I know my family knows, because from the day when I was talking to them, that I was on the right. I tried. My God, I tried. It breaks their heart, but I think eventually love wins. Doesn't really have to come out of a romantic relationship. My son, my family, they're all holding me very, very tight. And yeah.
Lastly, do you react to the allegations or the rumors which also float that the reason you are not staying in Mumbai is because of all the financial burdens you are going through? Because it's interesting, I'm asking you towards the end.
Yeah.
What started with the gold digger is coming to this question. So I think this is befitting.
It's amazing how I was a gold digger and didn't end up digging anything. Are you serious?
Not even a home in Mumbai?
I have been staying with my godfather. He's you can say, as my dad holds me, I'm very fortunate. I have two dads. One is my biological dad, the other is my godfather. They hold me so tight. I stay with my godfather now. But yes, I have shifted out. I cannot afford a gold digger. Damn it, has done a very bad job. I have failed miserably in not the first wedding, also not the second.
Where is the gold Dalljiet?
Sheesh, yeah. Two times I've managed to
not dig
till today. She got so much out of him. I'm like, how much? Come, let's talk. Come, please sit with my bank account. And again, not sympathizing. I'll do well. I'm an educated girl. कुछ नहीं होगा, receptionist बन जाऊंगी, कुछ नहीं होगा, sales girl बन जाऊंगी, कुछ नहीं होगा, अपना business शुरू कर लूंगी. I will figure it out. My son is in one of the best schools today, and I'm doing it all by myself. My family is obviously there, and I don't need anybody's gold to dig out for. I was digging love, which unfortunately, apparently, there's not enough out there, and Yeah, and it's just so funny, like how much confidence they have when they speak. And yes, financially, I'm in not in a great place, of course, because while
You've spoken
going, I
about it.
gave away my things. I had a Mercedes
You
CLA.
literally packed your house and life.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
I had
went away.
my like whatever little that stuff that I had, which were actually the expensive ones and the bulky ones. I couldn't send it to my parents; they were not interested. They said, "Beach te khatam kar, jo bhi thoda." So literally, in a hurry of like 3 months, I've literally given away my things. It's and why I specify the car is because it was my comfort. It was like the place I used to live in, because I used to travel a lot, shoot this, that.
And that's what you
EMI
have
de
earned.
ke. And sorry, my ex-husband never gave me a car. It was मैंने महीने के 35,000 पे कर करके finally I was about to own it and I just gave it away. And I'm like, shit, like I don't want to Uber it now, Or to be in the house where I had 2 nannies that I could go and shoot and come back to a safe Jaden. Or my driver, a man, taking Jaden alone to school. I was very confident because he's worked with me for so many years to gain that trust. I could not expect my dad to drop him and come back.
Of course.
So that safety net that I had created is gone. It's gone. I'll create it, yes. I've already taken a house on rent somewhere. It's a gorgeous house and I'm working towards it, whether it's travel blogging. I'm also coming up with something else. I'm hustling. Have I figured it out? No. Will I? Sure. But yes, I have my challenges, and you want to give sympathy, please. Like I said, go for it. I don't mind getting some. But yeah, it's been...
Lastly, Diljit, that I remember my first interaction with you was a couple of years back, and at that time, you were unfortunately in news because your first separation was coming to an ugly end legally.
Yeah.
From there to now, you have seen a lot in life. Nobody should wish this upon anyone.
No.
Did your ex ever reached out to you in these tough times? Because not for your sake.
Yeah, but I'm
Only
just
for
amazed that
Jaden.
everybody's curious, because
No, only
I
for
do think
Jaden.
that, yeah.
Because I thought that, as fathers, you always, of course, people say we don't give enough credit to fathers and their feelings. So I thought it might be like sensible enough to ask you, like, did he look after Jaden at least?
Knowing that his PR must be ready to say, I'm about to type letter.
Just a sensitive question.
No, he never did. I had met him before the wedding, and I told him, as I thought it was ethical, that I'm getting married, this is the gentleman, you come to Kenya, we both are assuring you can come meet Jaden, live with us. That's the healthiest thing for Jaden, and whenever we come, we'll meet you and all of that. And it's been a pattern in our life from the time, because a lot of wrong things had happened. And I fought, and after one time I was like, you know what, let's just let it go. So in my head, it was always that whenever you will approach me to meet him, if I know that you really want to, please meet him. Be it restaurant, mall, any place. I've always opened the door for him to meet. When the big boss thing also happened, he called me the best friend. I said, like, you can't just loosely say things like that, because it's not about the best friend. It's fine. It's great that you consider me that. But then you can't say nothing had happened. Nothing had happened, Like, you're trying to patao a girl, no problem. But don't put me in it in a frivolous light, because lots happened. Again, never spoke
and you
about
never
it.
spoke about it. I
Never.
vividly remember that period. Not even once you gave a statement.
I stand by that. And I've been pushed to the edge so many times to actually explicitly once tell what happened. I don't want to. But my point being that I don't like frivolous comments, because you are trying to do something. आप घर के पीछे मेरी कितनी बुराई कर लो, मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. बट मेरा बेटा देख रहा है, अगर मैं आपके लिए डिग्निटी रख रही हूँ, आप भी रखो. Simple. And you being what background you're coming from. That happened, and after that he's always approached. I've always made him meet, and there was a time when he said, I would like to get more involved. I said, sure, go for it. And then he said, I said, basketball kara lo, because Jaden really needs that, and you become the whole and soul of that. You take him, teach him, be a part. So he grows up saying one thing I did. So one thing, he'll feel that I did it because of him. I gave him that. Months later, he'd forgotten all about it. And then I said...
You never took him to the basketball.
No, I said. Then he said, please Google the place and tell me. I said, I'm Googling his life. Why will I Google your dreams also? But that happened. I'm letting that also pass. wedding, and like, yeah, I'm there, I'm this, you know, the way he speaks, I'm there, don't worry, like, arey main hu, and then gayab. From the time I stepped in the wedding, whether he was disturbed or whatever, didn't seem to be when I met him, because he knew it for 9 years that I want to get married. I was never this thing ki main to akele hi rahungi. I always said I'm looking
You've
for a
always
partner.
been very open about it.
Very. So it was not like sudden shock or whatever, and I'm still giving it to the shock, and I gave him that time ki kabhi to approach karega, kabhi to yaad aayegi. And months passed, year now to. But when I came back, I said that'll be the first person who'll call, and the best friend will appear. But it's that day and today, never.
Not feeling for Jaden, he will check.
No, but maybe it's a good thing. Let Jaden, like, I don't want Jaden to be in that confused state as well. And yeah.
I don't know if anyone would tell you, but I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm nobody to say that, but for any woman out there to just single-handedly bring up a child, fighting the world, the faceless roles, I can't even imagine to be in your position where every day you open up the phone, even for a second, and all you hear is just get hatred, the double standards, and they're the same people who might meet you in public with a big smile, and they're the same people who talk absolute rubbish and fighting the odds, fighting despite the presence of sisterhood. I just wish you lots of love, and
thank you.
And
really
I hope that whenever it happens, if it happens next in your life, kindly do embrace it.
Oh my God! Right now, it's
no,
the most.
Not right now. In any form, not in the form of a partner.
I just want peace.
Anything.
If you need to pray something, pray for mine and Jaden's sanity and peace.
That's what I'm saying.
What
love for any form.
Yeah.
Just happiness and a good healthy life.
Thank you.
And
wait until the PRs are ready. Whatever you're saying is both the PRs, not one now. Huh? There are two. Apparently, the other can hire two. They'll be at it.
As I said in the beginning, it's your story to tell, and you have told your story bravely. And if anyone has anything to add, they can grace the chair and tell their story.
True that.
It's as simple as that.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for doing this, and thank you for being brave. I have a lot of respect for you right now for just sitting and doing this, because I always say this grief is extremely personal, and if anyone is willing to brave it out and share it to the world, it takes a lot.
Hi, I'm Dalljiet Kaur, and you're watching me on Bollywood Bubble.